LOL take two. LOL take two. LOL take two. Now listen. This may be cheeky of me, but I would venture to say one of the top causes of marital discord, which is only slightly below infidelity or losing one's home due to a secret gambling addiction, is getting into it over a junk drawer. I know, maybe a slight exaggeration, but hear me out. Let's face it, a junk drawer is a place for all those items that are not often used. For example, a wooden muddler. This odd-looking tool crushes gorgeous mint leaves, sugar, and a Brazilian liqueur called cachaça into a tasty yet lethal cocktail called caipirinhas that we discovered in Rio de Janeiro. Or the cherry pitter that is maybe used every year or two, but when one needs to pit a cherry, it's there. Or the big turkey lifting forks that get used at Thanksgiving, or possibly during a Thanksgiving in July dinner. This is not to be confused with a drawer containing silverware or sheets, and in which all items are meticulously grouped and sorted by size, sets, and color. A junk drawer straddles that fine line between the OCD-adjacent spectrum and hoarder. But digging through the layers of a junk drawer can often be precarious, like some kind of an archaeological excavation in Pompeii or Egypt, or tearing through a sales rack at TJ Maxx looking for a $5 polo shirt in your size that isn't traffic cone orange. And inevitably, I hear from Bill, I can't find this whatever he is looking for, and this drawer is just a mess. It's in there, I say. No, it's not, he says. Yes, it is, I say. But then in frustration, I throw out the curveball that I later regret. Maybe if you helped divvy these things up in the first place, you'd know what drawers contained what things. Oh, yeah, I went there, and that's where it starts getting really nasty. So to calm everything down and make peace, I open up the drawer, and there, sitting on the top, sits the missing item in question. It's right there. Well, it wasn't there before, as he grabs said item. I roll my eyes, curb my tongue, crisis averted. Until next time. We just returned from our now annual trip to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, or PV as it is called. If you know, you know. And now you do. We stay in the same condo we have been booking since COVID, which is fantastic. Wraparound views of the sea, the most incredible Pacific sunsets ever. A fabulous beach where I channel my inner Katharine Hepburn, and I'm out swimming in the sea for about an hour and 10 minutes every single day. Thank you very much. The building has its own pool as well. I swear, within 24 hours of arriving, I'm already starting to grow gills. This condo is in the south end of PV, which is called the Zona Romantica. There are no cheesecake factories or office depots as there are in the north end of town. It's small, quaint, with cobblestone streets. Well, cobblestone is stretching it a little bit. Various unevenly spaced and shaped rocks is more like it. And one time I saw some dumb American had rented one of those Segway two-wheeled, allegedly self-balancing transporters. This thing was no match for the Zona Romantica cobblestones, and within seconds, the Segway flew out from under her and ended up a half block away. And she ended up on her rather ample rear end in the middle of the street, embarrassed as all get out. The locals walking by just rolled their eyes. Ouch. Don't try that at home, kids. The neighborhood in which we stay is fantastic, cobblestones excluded. There are tourists, expats, as well as plenty of locals, families with kids, all going about their business. And everything is within walking distance. Great restaurants, nightlife. There's a park across the street that hosts folklorico dancing every Friday night and a terrific farmer's market every Saturday. 10 years ago, we had started going to Puerto Vallarta, but only for a week. We discovered that really wasn't long enough. You spent a day traveling, and by the time you finally felt relaxed, you were packing up to go home. So we've been doing the 2-week PV trip ever since. I mean, if there is such a thing as a relaxing and peak experience vacation bingo card, ours would pretty much be blackout bingo. So last year, when the owners of the place gave us first dibs on the condo for this year, I had just put in my notice of retirement at my day job, and both Bill and I jumped at the opportunity to expand our usual 2-week stay into a 3-week stay. I mean, why not? I didn't need to submit a time-off request to my conniving closet queen manager or worry that I had enough vacation time ever again. Besides, the owners promised many poolside games of Rummikub next year with the other owners. We had definitely moved up the social ladder from being merely renters to hanging out with the other owners. Our owners, Greg and Nancy, even had a large tile version of Rummikub sent to our house in the States so we could practice before next year. A third more of a great thing is always better, right? It's like when I used to babysit the neighbors' kids back in Urbandale, Iowa in the 1970s. The parents would always leave me a huge family-sized bag of cheese curls and several bottles of RC Cola. After having played talk show with Buffy and Shelley and putting them to bed, I'd settle down to the TV tuned into the first season of Saturday Night Live, open up a bottle of RC Cola, and dig into that bag of Cheetos like it was the Last Supper, never thinking to pace myself or pour just a bowl of cheese curls. I remember that by the time I got to the cheesy crumbs at the bottom of the bag, my poor lips looked like I had made out with an Oompa Loompa. My fingers were caked with this orange spackle-like crust, and Weekend Update with Chevy Chase was just finishing. Funny how the cheese curls just didn't taste the same at the bottom of the huge bag as they had with those first bites. Yet I managed to consume them all. Flash forward 50 years, and I'm like a kid in a cheese curl bag in Mexico. Swimming daily, going for incredible weekly 90-minute massages, gorging on the wonderful local food. I'm doing it all. Back home at the States, I tend to be a homebody. 20 paces to grill pork chops in the backyard can be an exciting night out, let me tell you. Now we had this 3-week stretch before us, almost a month, and I was loving it, as I always do. But suddenly, at around 2 weeks, I got a pang. I missed our dog, Brody. I missed my comfortable Pottery Barn leather chair I meditate in daily, and I missed my grill. But wait, I'm here, by the sea. I don't have that at home. It was the weirdest feeling, I gotta tell you. I think Bill was feeling the same way as we were out on a walk just after the 2-week point, and he said, "So are we over Puerto Vallarta now?" I said, "No, I'm not, but I just suddenly feel weird about this trip, and I don't know how to describe it." The next morning, I happened to get a podcast summary email from this financial guy I follow, Tyler Gardner. He was saying he and his wife had gone to Sedona for 2 months to try it out. He said that after a month, he suddenly had all these similar feelings of what I was going through on my 50% longer vacation. He said, keep it special or it won't be. In his case, after week 5, the immaculate weather was just weather. The indulgent spa appointment the first time just became an appointment. He introduced me to the term hedonic treadmill, which I had never heard of. Honestly, hedonic treadmill sounded like some kind of a product that would be on the Home Shopping Network being pushed by Eric Estrada. Hedonism is the pursuit of pleasure. Obviously, peak experiences on a vacation, massages, swims, eating out nonstop, all qualify. We all know a treadmill is walking or running while staying in the same place. It is also a piece of clunky furniture at almost every yard sale with a sign on it that says free or best offer. The point is that we humans tend to pursue our pleasures, but at some point, something in our brain adjusts to this new normal and we are off looking for the next big pleasure. Our initial pleasures suddenly don't feel quite good enough. The solution? Keep these pleasures special by balancing them with non-peak experiences. Oh, and don't impulse buy treadmills at Costco, no matter how good a deal they are. That was my aha moment in Mexico. It wasn't that I was over Puerto Vallarta. It's one of my favorite places on earth. But I had discovered my sweet spot for going and having peak vacation experiences, which is around 2 weeks or so. That provided the contrast I needed to my amazing seaside life versus my daily homebody rituals that I also treasure. I think about many vacations we've taken in the last 20 years that were particularly wonderful. Traveling all over Ireland with Mom and Auntie. Driving 800 miles around Iceland. Spain and Portugal. And guess what? They were all 2 weeks or 2 weeks and a little bit. I had discovered, truly found my sweet spot in PV, and I wrote some verse to sum it up. It's great, I say, to get away to sun and sea and shore, With tasks on hold and truths untold, your mind makes room for more. Of doing what comes from your gut, a slew of great new things. Vacation fun is 1/3 done. Let's see what next week brings. We start week 2, and thus ensue releasing cares and scorn. This week I'll be age 63, the same year I was born. Amazing feat, this winding street of decades filled with fun. I raise my glass to every pass and trip around the sun. 2 weeks are done. We're down to 1 to chill and to unwind. It's odd to me. My gut says flee. Why rush back to the grind? 'Cause I still miss my puppy's kiss and comforts of our nest. So say goodbye to sea and sky, and home we go to rest. Our last day in PV, over a competitive game of Rummy Cube by the pool, Greg and Nancy again offer us first dibs on the condo for next year. I said, I think we're going back to staying 2 weeks. Just 2 weeks? Yeah, just 2. I really missed the dog. I throw poor Brody under the bus when, in truth, I'm keeping it special and honoring my newfound sweet spot. I then remove all my remaining Rummy Cube tiles from the tray and add them to various runs and groups on the table next to our melting margaritas. Oh, and by the way, Rummy Cube, I announce, winning the game. Right then and there, I decide next year, the 3rd week we would have been in PV, I will spend that week with Bill, happily organizing our junk drawers.
LOL take 2. LOL take 2. LOL take 2. Ba 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 bum.